Hi guys, I'm Dr. Sam over here at Live Your Life Integrated Health and Chiropractic in Erie, and today we're going to talk about taking a break from the computer. Especially right now, we've got a lot of people on laptops, on their phones. With the quarantine, people's lifestyles are changing a little bit, and we're finding more people constantly bent over throughout the day, even reading a book or something like that. Anything that's going to cause us to go into this position is going to put a lot of strain on these muscles, and we're going to notice pain, we're going to notice achiness, we're going to notice tightness. So what can we do to start bringing all of that back and relaxing that out? So the first thing that we're going to talk about is basically stretching out this front area. We're going to want to stretch out the neck. And I tell my patients that about every 55 minutes or so once an hour, we're going to want to spend 3 to 5 minutes doing these stretches, doing these few little movements to keep everything loosened up. So the first one is this neck stretch. We're going to take our hands and we're going to place them over our two collarbones, our clavicles here. And we're just going to pull down. And when we pull down, we're going to look up. What that does is it takes all these muscles attached to this area and really gives them a nice stretch. And I'll do that from the side. Same thing, you're just putting your hands on those collarbones, pulling down, looking up, okay? Then we're going to take our head, bring it over to one side, jut that chin up and out, and you should feel a nice stretch along one side. And we can go to the other side and jut that chin up and out and feel a nice stretch along that side. And we're going to want to hold this for about 30 seconds in each position. So once straight forward, once off to the left, once off to the right, okay? Then the next thing that we're going to do is work on bringing those shoulder blades back and down. And we're going to do this with something called the YTWLs. So you start off in a Y position, we go to a T position, and this T position, we really want to start thinking about bringing those shoulders back and down. W, so you're sucking those elbows into the side here. Same thing, keeping these shoulders back and down. You don't want to be Wing up here like this. We want those nice and down. And then L, that L is where you should really feel the lower shoulder blades squeeze and move down together. So I'm going to do that kind of on an angle here. We've got our Y's, T's, bringing those shoulders down, W's, still focusing on these shoulder blades here, bringing them down, starting to bring together. And that L, you should really feel that all tighten up right in this area. And when we tighten those muscles, rather than being in this position, we're going to start bringing everything back to this position and strengthening that. So even when we are at the computer, these muscles are strong enough to hold it back in that area. All right, we're going to head down to the ground for 2 more. So one of the ones I love having my patients do is the cat-cow, cat-camel. I've heard many different names, many different animals for this, but it's very good to get that back, that spine moving, to make sure it's staying nice and mobile. And all that is starting off, and we like to keep the head chin up just slightly here, and we're going to arch the back, and then coming back the other way, lifting that head up slightly. We're going to arch it the opposite way, letting that stomach drop down a little bit here. All right, and we're going to hold each of those for about 3 seconds. So this is nice and slow, and we're trying to get all of those different movements. I do see some of my patients really tense their shoulders up when they do this. Try to let all those muscles relax as much as possible. We don't need to tense the shoulders up. We don't need to tense the neck muscles up. We're just working the spine. All right. So we're going to spend about 30 seconds to a minute doing that. We should get through about 10 to 20 reps of those. And then our final stretch is we are just going to come all the way down to the ground. And we're going to lay out in this big T position. And a lot of people just in this position are going to start feeling a little minimal stretch here, maybe a little stretch through the neck. All right, to increase this a little bit more. So if I want to stretch the right side out more, I'm going to turn my head to the left, and you should feel this stretch. And you want to try to let this shoulder drop down to the ground as much as possible. And then I'm going to take my fingertips, and I'm going to, still looking over to the left, open them up all the way. And you're going to feel that extra little stretch through there. And then if you need a little bit more, we're just going to tilt the body a little bit more over to the left side and get an extra little stretch. You can also slightly raise the arm a few inches as well, and that's going to change some of the muscle fibers that you're stretching. Okay, so if we can take that break once an hour, like I said, spending 3 to 5 minutes stretching all that out, at the end of the day, you're going to feel much better rather than just spending 8 hours at a computer, 8 hours reading a book, 8 hours on your phone. Doesn't matter. Most of the activities we do today are us looking down. So we really want to learn to stretch everything out. All right, you guys, hope that helps.